It is still sinking in the magnitude of this moment. As soldiers move through these scenes of celebration, they're given a hero's welcome. Liberation feels good, and they are holding on to it tight.
Hugely emotional scenes here in the centre of Kherson. The military are driving through, they're playing the national anthem, and people are just running out, tears in their eyes, to express their gratitude for liberating the city, for coming in here and bringing it back under Ukrainian control.
These people have lived under 9 months of terrifying occupation. It's easy to understand why they're weeping tears of relief and joy and clinging on to their liberators.
Такі раді, що приїхала наша сила і освободила нас від тих окупантів.
The celebrations carry on across the square all day, and it is infectious. Many here feared this time may never come, and now they're cherishing it. A rare moment of good news in a war which has caused so much pain.
Страха нічого не було. Було страшно. Ми боялися просто навіть машина, яка десь затормозить і все. Ми боялися телефони навіть просто, ми ховали все, ми ховали дітей.
And it is perhaps a reflection of the strength of the residents that life in many places carries on as kind of normal. But the smashed up buildings and the dark secrets they contain are hard to forget. Members of Russia's internal security, the FSB, were based in this hotel before it was hit by a Ukrainian artillery strike. From here, they enforced Moscow's rule of oppression. Those gathering outside say many people in the city were simply disappeared.
Нема. Пішов по воду й нема. Пішов на базар нема. Пішов по ліки нема. Нікого нема, багато нема людей.
Surviving under occupation was a life lived in fear. And although freedom is a powerful currency, basic services remain cut. There's no power, and there are queues like this everywhere for water.
Зв'язку немає.
Ну, а так як можемо, так виживаємо.
The Russians spent their time here talking of a new motherland. The posters for the sham referendum still hang heavy over the city. But Vladimir Putin's illegal annexation and his claim Kherson is Russia forever means nothing when the people here have a different idea of who they want to be. The truth is, Moscow's forces built nothing and destroyed much. This is the TV tower which they blew up as they left, cutting telephone services and the internet.
You can see the Antonovsky Bridge. It's been continually damaged during this conflict, but those sections there were blown by the Russians when they retreated to the eastern bank. And just a couple of kilometers from where I'm standing, that is their new defensive position.
For now, though, it's about reconnecting with the outside world. Soldiers in the square have set up satellite internet so people can tell their loved ones they're okay.
It feels like freedom at last. It feels like a big future is coming here.
Did you ever think this moment would come?
From the very first day, I knew it was coming, sure.
The 9 months of occupation?
Yes, yes.
And what was that like?
You have to have something which you live for, and this was the moment to live for, frankly. I knew liberation is not something happening every year. It's something in 5 generations, and it's a moment to stay.
There is anger here too at what Russia has done to Ukraine, with many trying to tear down any reminders of what they've had to endure. And with the Kremlin's forces in retreat, People here are willing their military to free the rest of the country soon. Alex Rossi, Sky News, in Kherson City.
Absolute euphoria here at the moment. I'm using the phone and we're communicating by the camera and by satellite. It's a bit of a chaotic mess. There's no phone signals here. The Russians have taken all that down, destroyed the electricity, the water, the gas. Everything here is in a bad situation, but everyone here is out celebrating in the square here. People are wearing the Ukrainian flag. They're hugging the soldiers. They've come out to see how it is to have freedom. And I'm joined here by Yulia and Olga, and we're going to have a quick conversation about how it's been. Tell us about the last 8 months, Yulia, under occupation.
It was a really hard time for everyone. Every Ukrainian family waited for our soldiers, for our army.
So how does it feel now today to see them?
It's amazing, wonderful. Thank you very much for supporting us. We feel every day your support. Thank you so much. Can I hug you?
Sure. Thank you very much. Olga, can we talk?
Yes, sure.
Can you tell us about your experiences over the last 8 months?
We were waiting so long, but we were sure that this day will come and we will celebrate together with our people here and everywhere in the world. Thanks for all world that supported us, that helped us, and this day we are so happy to be here. We are so happy with our people to celebrate this day. This is something amazing, but it was hard, but we always knew that this day will come.
And I think what everyone wants to know now, who's outside of here, what is the situation here now? Please tell us about that.
Situation is very terrible. No gas, gas we had. Electricity, no. Power, no. Connection, this is very important for people. People are lost. We don't know that.
No internet connection.
No internet connection, right. No water. But it's okay. We can wait. We can wait, but the more important, Ukraine back here.
We can call to our families, to our relatives and friends, and we want to say we are together.
And I think a lot of people were worried, and the government was worried about if the Russian soldiers would stay behind, if there would be a battle here. Do you feel the city is safe now?
Yes, city is safe for us.
And tell us how it was, because again, we haven't had good information here. What was the situation like living with Russian soldiers in control?
What people you can see here now, I think many of them were hiding. They're hiding the Ukrainian flag somewhere in the corner. We were terrified by Russian army. We were terrified by soldiers that can come any moment in our house, in our home, just open the door like they're living here and steal, kidnap, torture. And this was very, very, very terrible. I have goosebumps now when I'm talking. But we did that. We wait and we celebrate it now.
And what now? What are your hopes now? You have liberation and freedom. What are your hopes?
We feel free. We are not slaves. We are Ukrainians. We are proud of it.
Yes, I agree. I agree with Julia. Yes, I agree.
Thank you both very much indeed. Thank you. I'm afraid the situation. Slava Ukraine, they're saying freedom for Ukraine. I'll tell you a little bit about our journey down here, because it was quite the journey, driving through vast areas of countryside, going through, there were mines on the road, there were blown bridges on the road to get here. The Russians really made it hard for the Ukrainian forces to advance down here and liberate Kherson. That said, the countryside is almost entirely deserted, very, very few vehicles on the road, and the road's badly damaged. So I think, for this city to get the restoration of power, to get the internet connection again, and everyone's been coming along here to use our internet connection that we're talking to you on right now. To get these things established, there's clearly a lot of damage that's happened, and it's clear that it's going to take a long time. But this is just a moment of euphoria here, just a moment of celebration where people can come in the square and show their flags. Remember, back at the beginning of the war, this was the city. Back when the Russian troops rolled in here, the beginning of the war, this was the city that tried to resist. They had protests. It's celebration. People. This is what liberation looks like. This is what liberation feels like. The people of this city tried to resist the Russians. The Russians suppressed them. This is what Ukrainians are like when that suppression comes off. I think it might surprise many, it would surprise, I think, many of those Russian soldiers who were here to know that these passions and these feelings were just hidden beneath the surface. This was a city where people were taken away, where they were tortured, where they were disappeared, but this is the spirit, this is the spirit. When the Russians are gone, and they can be themselves. It's quite remarkable to witness. But this was the square where people began, when the Russians invaded, to try to resist them, eventually beaten back, eventually shot back, eventually driven into their homes, essentially underground. Now they're out, and this is a new day of liberation.